Arturia DrumBrute Impact is a very affordable analog drum machine which I suspect might be a little bit underrated. So I thought I'd put together a video exploring the sounds of the Impact and having some synth jams. If that sounds good, then please stick around. Also, please do subscribe if you're not already, and yeah, let's see what it's all about. Okay, so I'm going to give a basic overview of the DrumBrute sounds, starting with the kick drum, which has pitch and decay. We then have two different snares. We have a high tom and a low tom, although the high tom's not that high. And the low tom is very low. Could be another kick drum. Then we have a cymbal and a cowbell. Classic. Next we have a closed and open hi-hat. And the closed hi-hat will choke the open hi-hat, which is nice. Then we have this FM drum, which is really quite cool. There's loads of crazy sounds to be had here. I really wish these parameters were modulatable. And then we kind of have some secondary sounds. The kick, for example, if we hold the color button, can be a more overdriven kick. And I really like this kick drum. Let's try the snare. Slightly different character. The second snare becomes more of a clap. Apparently there's more decay on the toms. Ever so slightly. But yeah, we just get some different characters, and actually the FM drum becomes more of a pitched envelope, which is amazing. So let's put down a really basic beat. I'm going to start with a kick drum, just put 4 on the floor. Then I'm going to put, let's just put a hi-hat on every step. I'm going to put in some of this pitch enveloping in. Then I want the high tom coming in. So it's super easy to get decent beats happening. We have a nice roller here. We also have an output circuit. If we put this on, we can bring in distortion. bring the volume down a bit. On the back there are some individual outs. I believe the kick, the snare, the FM drum, maybe the hi-hat as well, so we can route these into different channels on our mixer or through different effects. We'll probably explore that a bit later in the video. And yeah, there's tons of other stuff you can do, of course. You can set up polyrhythms, you can set up different sequences and have them chained together. I guess the main focus for this video is to show how diverse this sort of limited range of sounds can actually be. For this jam, I'm using the color on the kick drum, so we get much more of the pitch coming through. If I take the color off, it just feels more distorted, and when we bring the distortion all the way up, you really hear the note come through. And I was actually tuning the kick drum to go along with the chords. So it's really adding a nice kind of bassline feel. I have the snare running out of the snare output into the Von Gone polyphrase. So it's adding a little bit of high end as well as some stereo width. We can bring the repeats up. And I'm also using snare 2 with the color engaged, so we're getting more of a clap sound. And it actually has quite a cool kind of filter effect. Really like that stereo sound on the clap. I've got a bit of random on the entire beat, I think. Yeah, we're sitting about 9, 10. But then I've also got some random on the closed hi-hat here. About 25, so we're getting really random hi-hat patterns. And yeah, it just sounds really fat. I think maybe I'll explore the individual outputs a bit more, as running the individual drums through different effects can really bring the DrumBrute to life. So in this jam, what is going on? So I have a couple of the outputs going to pedals here. So I've got the hi-hats going to the Chase Bliss Mood Mark II. So we're getting some really nice kind of panning stuff happening with those. I've also got the snare going to the Von Gone Ultra Shear, so we're getting this really massive reverberous snare. Which is really nice. I've got the Metal Fetishist from Body Synths here. It's actually running into the polyphrase. So we're getting some sort of stereo delay happening on that. And then I'm using the OP1 as a MIDI controller, just playing a kind of chord sample. And the final thing I wanted to point out is the FM drum. It's actually running on a kind of polyrhythm. If we go to the last step, then it's only going to step 14, so it's kind of looping in a way that keeps it nice and interesting. But yeah, sounds really cool. So I've put together an effects rack to run the DrumBrute through, and I'm going to do a bit of a montage and see what kind of crazy sounds we can come out with. Let's quickly talk through what's going on with the modular. I've got an input module here to bring the DrumBrute up to modular level. We're then going into the Apollo View Rabbit Hole, which is a tube distortion. it's pretty tasty. We're then going into a stereo filter here. Next we've got the Bastel Citadel with the Effects Wizard firmware. This is a multi-effects that allows you to modulate through the different effects engines. And it's pretty interesting. Next we've got the Data Bender, which does glitchy and pitchy things, into the MFX, which I'm not really using currently, and finally the Effects Aid, which is another multi-effects module. But yeah, I'm going to put together a wee montage here and see what happens. hope you've enjoyed my exploration of the DrumBrute Impact. Definitely an underrated drum machine in my opinion. It's a lot of fun, it's very immediate, and for the price you get just an insane amount of features. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please leave a like and a comment, let me know down below. If you would like to support my channel, if you enjoy the videos that I make, then you can sign up to my Patreon for as little as £3 a month, and it really helps me out so much. You can also check out my online store where I sell sample packs and preset packs. I have a couple of albums you can get on my Bandcamp, where links down in the description, and finally there are some affiliate links as well. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Take care.